everybody, and welcome back to Wool Felt Rambles. We are working on Around the Garden, and basically I have been busy getting some stitches in. I have not finished doing the center yet, but I thought today I'll just show you what I've got done so far. I don't want to move the hoop, so I've got this stitched down. I've got some triangles a little bit further down, you can see there. I've got the pinwheel stitched. I've got some running stitch done. I've got these ones stitched in purple. I've got some green ones stitched down as well. So I've got a fair bit of it stitched down. There is a lot to be stitching down here. And at the moment I've stitched down these blue ones and I'm working on these purple ones. When I was here last, the cat jumped up on it and it's just dragged dust and everything off the ground. So basically this is what it looks like, and we already know that because you've seen that in the last one. I'm using CXC threads to stitch it down with because that's what I have a lot readily available and I want to use them. Okay, we've seen how big this was in the last video, but I just wanted to talk to you a little bit. I sort of said that I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, I said I was going to stitch this in hand. It is impossible to stitch this in hand. So basically what I'm doing right now is the running stitch that goes up here. So we've got a white running stitch that goes up here and follows it around. So you can see I've done a little bit of it down here. That I can do in hand. So, but what the problem was, I kept sticking myself with pins and everything like that. So basically what I thought I would do was just stitch down all the little stuff, get rid of all the little pins and everything. And this is just whip stitch around it. So that's all I'm doing. So that's just basically up and down on the edge of the felt, as you can see there. And basically I thought, well, I'll just stitch all of them down and then that way I can do the running stitch and nothing's going to stick me. But what I thought I'd do today is we're going to cut out some more pieces and start thinking about where we're going to lay them down. And what else are we going to do? Yeah, and that's pretty much it for today, because this is I'm going to cut the tree out as well and get that sorted. The leaves and everything like that, they're going to be take me a little while to cut out, so I'm not going to worry about filming those. I'm just going to film as much as I can. But if I just wanted to show you the update that I've got stitched down. I was stitching this as I was doing the magazine and all that sort of stuff, so there's not a lot of it being stitched down, but let's get stuck into doing some cutting so I can move on with my progress and all that. But this is going to be the main focus is going to be this stitching of this centerpiece, and as you can see I've got a fair bit done already. Okay, and I also had Mia here for some of that time as well, and she kept coming up and pulling at threads and stuff like that, so I ended up just putting it away. So I'm just looking here. The next section that we're going to be working on is here. Now I've had a little bit more of a think about it, and while I want to do it as the seasons, and I'm going to endeavor to do that, it is going to take me a heck of a long time to stitch this all down. So realistically, I'm thinking that it's going to take a little bit longer than 12 months to do, because it's not my only project that I'm working on. So I'm going to endeavor to get each section done in the seasons. And so we've got most of it, either tacked down or, tacked in place or whatever the case may be. That is what I'm going to endeavor to do. So the next part that I need to cut out is these houses here, the lighthouse and the tree. All this little stuff here I'm sort of going to just leave till last and then put that on, and I'm thinking that I'm going to end up using some basting glue for that, because I just do not have enough pins for all of this section here. It's one thing to say, yeah, I'm going to get it all done and all that sort of stuff, but sometimes you've got to be a little bit more realistic with yourself and realize that you don't have that much time to sit in. And this sits in the lounge room, so whenever I've got a chance I've been stitching it, but I do want to get some more cross stitch done and whatnot as well. So again, this will be sitting in the lounge room. I have all the felt and everything there, but I think today what we'll do is we'll look at cutting out the tree and some of these houses and get them all together and ready to lay down. And yeah, so hopefully we can get some of that done. And obviously if I get more done, because it's sort of, as I'm working on it, I'm filming, so I'll end up splicing some of the videos together. If I get a little bit more done, well, obviously you will see it. But right here, right now, I wanted to give you an update on what I'd already done on it. And as you can see, and you can see from here, like it is a bit difficult to you know, to do it in hand when you've got all these pins here. Like one of my pieces have come out, so I've just stuck it up there as I've been stitching. But once it's stitched down, I can, you know, I can get in there and get it done, and it's stitching down really nicely. Like I'm loving doing it. So I just don't have enough time. I didn't have enough time during the school holidays. Hopefully now that winter's coming on, I will get a lot more into that, because it's cold nights. I want stuff, you know, draped over me and all that sort of stuff. So what I thought we would do, so like you can see here, this is the bottom of the tree. So we've got all this stuff, and that's what I was saying, that little stuff that we've got down the bottom is going to take a long time. And then we've got all this sort of stuff all around the circle as well. So I'm thinking that the basic glue is going to come in really handy for that. And I do believe that, as I said, Gail does have this as well. So that is my recommendation, Gail. Work all the big stuff and then leave all the little stuff once you've done that section. And yeah, and I believe Jenny was thinking about doing this as well, Jenny D. If you're doing that, again, I would do that. Okay, so I think what we'll do today, I just need to find the rest of the tree. I think it's on the back here, is it? Yep. Okay, so I need to trace out the shape of the tree. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm probably just looking at that, what colors we've got. 2 different types of green in there. So I might even yeah, no, I'll just trace out the tree. We'll trace out some of the houses as well. And like, I've just got to find them. Like it's not, I haven't found it to be a very easy pattern to navigate, which is not helpful at all. So 1, 2, that's the tree. Excuse me. Now I've just got to find, because it doesn't tell you what part it goes to. So this tree here looks to be this tree here. So this is 5 and 6. So if that's 1 and 2, then I'm thinking this might be 3 and 4. What do you reckon? I don't know. I'm a little bit lost at where I'm at. So this is, okay, so this is this tree here by the looks of it. No, that tree there. So that's those houses there. All right, so let me get my pencils. I just had it in my hand. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so what I might do is I will put this, this is part of the, so that must be the, yes, because there's the palm tree. So this is, I'll just put down here a little note, and this will make it easier for those that are working at home, because I'm working it all out. This does not have any stuff with it. So this bottom bit here is page 10 and page 9. So I'm going to, and I'm just going to have it in front of me as I'm looking at it. I'm going to say that is the bottom left. And that is going to make it so much easier for me now, because I won't need that so much. So I can put that out of the way. Let me just get that out of the way. Just, I'm supposed to sit up there. Okay, so this is, so we'll have this as top right, center, and this is top right, center. And sometimes this can be the biggest, like the most daunting thing to do for, you know, a project like this. Okay, so this one is also the bottom. No, it's not. Where is this tree? Does that look like that tree? Yes, it does. So this is the bottom right. No, hang on a second. Yep. Oh, it's like the bottom center. So this is bottom center because it's this section here. So we've got that tree, and we've also got the boab tree as well, and this tree. So I would say that that's the bottom center. You reckon? Yeah. I'm just bringing you along for the process. All right, let me just have a look. Interesting. All right, what is that one? Is that there? No. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, it is. All right. Yeah, bottom center. I'll be able to know what that is. So that is that section there, and I would call that bottom center. Yeah. Okay, so we can put that one out of the way now. All right, next one. Let me just have a look here. What do we got? All right, so all right. Okay, that's the top of the lighthouse. Yep. No. Yes. Yes. Oh, this is hard to work out. Like, you think they would have. So this was 1 and 2. So this must be 3. Yeah. This is the top right. Didn't I already write top right somewhere? Bottom left. Bottom center. Okay, this is definitely top right because that's that tree there. And then this is the top right. Yeah, because then we come down to this tree here. So that's your top right. And I just wanted to bring you along for the journey on this because it is very tricky. So this is the only one that we've had marked out, top left. That is, see, if they had have had this all the way over, this would have been a lot better. So that is our top left. I'll just write it on that side too, so I know that's top left as well. Okay, so that was easy. And this here is the squiggly tree. Where is that? This is here. All right, so this is the center, and we're going to go left center. Which means that that is also there. Because the centers are just like that. Okay. Left center. Fun and games, right? Fun and games. All right. What else have we got here? All right. So that's 1, 2. 3, 4. This is 5. This is top center. Is that right? No. Oh, this is getting frustrating. There's 4. This is 5. Okay. This is very frustrating the way they've got this set up. So this one here is this here. So this is right center. Okay, and this is bottom right. Okay, so that's this tray here, that tray there. Okay, so it's supposed to go in sequence, but it doesn't look like it does. So this may be when we got to join it, like, yeah, to create the circle 3 and then 5 and then 6, and there's 7, 8, 9 and 10. So that is, and then we've got the 11 and 12. So 11, 12. So that is our outside circle done. All right, so I'm going to leave that together. So we've got top left, and that's all done. And I've marked it as well. Now these are the center parts. So this is the tree and the leaves and this part here. I don't see any markings for this stuff, but we'll still go through that in a second. So again, then we've got the bunnies and the birds on the next side. So we've got the bunny in the basket, and then we've got the birds on the other side of that, which is pretty easy. These are the centerpieces, and then we've got our summer scene. So then we've got the bridge and whatnot, and then we've got the stair part. So we've got the vase and everything. Oh my god, look at all those little leaves. Oh yeah, I'm going to be here for a while. All right, so this is the outside circle. So I'm going to leave them together, and I'm going to put a little bulldog clip on this so I know that they're all together and in order, and that's going to make it easier for when I come back to that. So I can put that aside, and I don't need these ones because they're the center bits. What I do need today is to trace out the tree. So I'm going to grab my freezer paper. And if you are just pulling stuff out of your bobbins and all the rest of it, I recommend that you pull them out and leave them with the project, and just write a note in there that what colors you've got in your project, or you can put them on some floss drops or something like that, but because you are going to need a fair chunk of these colors to stitch everything down. And I've just sort of just put the floss up against, like grabbed out some blues and put the floss up against it. So this is for our dusty blue, so you can sort of see the floss on it, but I'm okay with that, and it's sort of blending in okay. And then I've got this blue over here which matches almost completely. Obviously white's going to be okay. The purple is the color I'm using there. No, it's not. Yes, it is. That purple there, and then obviously the greens and stuff like that I'll match up as well. So you can see over here, we can see them a little bit, and I'm just trying to be really consistent with them and stuff like that. All right, let me grab the freezer paper and we'll start tracing out this tree, and I might even trace out some leaves as well. So yeah, all right, let me just go grab that. Okay, so I've got my sheet of freezer paper, and I'm just going to say right now there's going to be some rustling. So what I want to do is I would like to have this not move on me. So let me just find my washi tape wherever that just went. I just had it before. There it is. Get that back in there. All right. So I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold this down. And you don't really need a light box for this. I'm not sure if that's picking up on camera, but that is coming through really, really strong through the freezer paper. You don't really need a light box for it. If you are struggling, like I am to find the edge of my washi tape, if you're struggling and you don't have a light pad, my tip is to just go up to a window and stick your sheet onto the window, and then stick your make your freezer paper a little bit bigger, and then what is required, and then you can just stick that to the window, and then trace a little bit. Then when you come back to it, trace a little bit more if your arm gets tired or anything like that, and just go at it that way. All right, so this washi tape is old and it's being difficult. It's splitting as well. This is all my old washi tape and stuff like that. I don't necessarily throw out. It doesn't make for interesting content, but you can still use it. It just rips weirdly, and yeah, so you can see here it's just ripping weirdly. All right, that should hold it there in place anyway. All right, let's get rid of that. As I said, there is going to be some rustling, and all I'm going to do is trace out the tree, and I'm going to stay on the lines as best as I can to get the shape of our tree. Okay, so there is our tree. Now, let me see what colour our tree is. It's a grey colour, isn't it? It'll be a big piece. I'm guessing it's that bit there, because that's the biggest piece I've got. Yeah, it's that bit there. So this is our tree. It's going to fit it. Yep. So I'm just going to head over to the iron, and now we put the shiny side down, and I'm going to make it super easy for myself and get it as close as I can to the edge and down the bottom. But I'm going to, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this down, and I'll probably put a couple of pins in there as well, just to make sure that it doesn't move. But this should stick down to it, and then I can cut around it, and then I'll use my really sharp scissors to cut on the actual line. So there is going to be like a little bit of waste of the felt, like once we cut the felt out, there'll be that waste bit, but we'll be able to use, excuse me, bits and pieces of that, because I think the boab tree is done in the same thing, the basket. So don't chuck it out, just put it aside, because you'll need to use it for other things as well. All right, so I'm going to head over to the iron and press that down. Okay, so we've got that all stitched, sorry, not stitched. We have it all pressed down, and then basically what we're going to do is follow the line that we marked. And yes, I know that I'm using my sewing scissors to cut through paper, but it actually doesn't dull them, it's fine. Through the freezer paper, and I can just get them sharpened anyway. So basically all I'm going to do is cut on that line all the way around until I have my tree cut out. Alright, so we have our little tree cut out and I got some more stitching done. I didn't take any footage of that because I actually did it in the house and it was very dark in there. But I'll show you what I've got done. You've probably already seen an update over on Patreon for the whips. But I got all these stitched down. I've got all the triangles going down. So I've got the whole right hand side of it stitched down. So you can see there all the triangles are stitched down. I've still got to do some weaving on the back and all the rest of it, but for the most part it's all done. I've got one more triangle that I have to put in here. I don't know where that ended up, but it's not there. And I don't know why, but I only cut 3 and I should have cut 4. So anyway, we have all our triangles going up, all our flying geese going up. So I've just got one more to put on there, which I'll do a bit later. I've got the pinwheel stitched down. So now all I have to do, I've got some of these green ones stitched down. So now all I need to do is stitch down the rest of this row, which is another 9. And then I'm going to start on our little zigzag. Now, I know that you can't really see it very well because, you know, we only have so much space on the camera. But what I thought I would do is I'm going to lay it out as flat as I can before I put it back in the frame. And then I'm going to do a little bit of stitching of the tree down and I'll come back to these later. But as you can see, we have this whole corner here ready to go. So we can actually start on that quarter. Now, I wanted to just show you the hoop that I'm using. These, I do not know whether you can get these still. I've had this for quite some time. This is actually my candle wicking hoop or French knot. So anything where I've got to do French knots or candle wicking, any sort of knot basically. And now I'm using it for my wool felt as well. There was a gentleman that used to make them here in Kingaroy. He no longer does that. He's quite old, and I believe last time I seen his wife, he was heading to a nursing home. So yeah, but they'd be really easy to make. All he's done is taken a hoop, and he's obviously had a lathe and all that sort of stuff, and he's cut out a shape. But you could do this with a circle, and then you could just put some, yeah, so use some hot glue or wood glue of some sort and just glue it on the inside of the hoop. So that is the bottom part of it, and he's put some screws in there. He's like made little joints on it, but he's put some screws in there and rounded these off, and then just created a bottom. So I'm going to have a look and see if I can't work out how to make some of these, and I might even do a tutorial, and then maybe you can get your hubbies to make you some, or you can have a go yourself. Now this one is really loose because it is quite old now, so I need to actually wrap this outside hoop with some calico or some twill tape or something along those lines. I went down the shop to see if I could find some. They have none down there, but I am heading to Toowoomba next week, so I'll be able to get some twill tape or something from Spotlight. Alright, so basically I'm just going to set this aside for a moment, and we're going to pin down. I've got my pins here. I've just been putting them into my little scissor case when I've been stitching. And yeah, so basically I'm going to pin down the tree, and then we're going to do some stitching on that. So let me just get this. We sort of know like where it's got to sit by the picture. So this is the picture that we've got. So I basically know that I've got to sit it. I do not know why I only cut 3. It's clearly marked there is 4. And there's enough room there for the 4th. So I'm thinking that I did cut the 4th one, but it's fallen off somewhere. Probably when I've been down the park or something like that and I've not noticed. So I'll just cut another one and that'll be done. So yeah, we've just got to put our tree in here. So I've got to line it up with the second one up. And so I'm just going to use that as my guide. And we're going to lay this out. And there is a lot of it. So hopefully we can get this laid out pretty good. Let's be tree gone. Put this all over this side. Alright. Okay, so we know, get that all sitting nice and flat. This is not an easy feat to get this all on camera. But anyway, I can see I've got the yellow line still marked there from the chalk marker. So I know that that's where my running stitch is going to be. And so I've got to line it up. I may have not put that one on there because that's where I had to line the tree up. So this is where my tree has to go. Okay. And just looking at the picture, I'm just eyeballing it. It is about, so I've got enough room to put in my running stitch, which I haven't done yet, which is fine. But it is about a 1/4 inch off that running line. Now, I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera because it is quite faded, but that is roughly where my tree is going to start. So you can see there that this bit comes down and it's starting right on the corner of that one there. And I've got enough room to put another one of these in. So, and it looks like it's had something there because I've got the marks and everything there. So I'm just going to take this paper off and it just peels off. And then I'm just going to, as I said, come about a 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit less away from that line where my running stitch is going to be. And get that to sit nicely there. So let me just grab some pins. Hopefully you can see that okay. And again, I'm just going to pin everything into place because I'm pretty much going to be sewing this down straight away. So I don't really need to worry about having the glue or anything like that. It's probably going to take a little while to stitch down, but I'm fairly confident it'll get done pretty quickly because it's pretty straightforward. I spent probably, well, I listened to an audiobook that was about 6 hours and I finished the audiobook. I had started it and it took me all that time to stitch down all of these. A few of these were already stitched down. I think I was up to the purple. So I finished doing the purple, the green and the pink, and then I had the orange done over here and the purple done here. So I've done the rest of this row and the rest of this row. And of course that's with interruptions and all that sort of stuff as well. So I'm just concentrating on this bit here first. And then once I've got this all pinned down and I'm happy with its placement, I will start stitching down. This is not a small project by any means. And I'm just getting it to sort of lay flat. Ow. Pins. It's hazardous. Now, I know that you can't actually see the line that's going up there, but there is actually a line there, I can assure you. So this is looking pretty good. Yep, and it's all in the right place because this tree, if we look at the picture, the tree stops at the second last one and of the pink. And I don't know whether you can see it or not, but yes, it definitely does. Some of this will probably be in widescreen as well because if I enlarge it, you might not be able to see it properly. So this pinning situation will have it at widescreen, I'd say. Now I'm going to, I don't have to worry about this moving. I'm just going to lay this all nice and flat and not stretch it or anything like that, and start pinning that into place. But I'm going to work my way out because as you pin, sometimes it can move and stretch and stuff like that. So just be aware of that you want to work outways. Lucky I did all that stitching, otherwise I wouldn't have had enough pins. Now I believe that this is all whip stitched, but we have, yeah, it's all whip stitch except up this line here it's running stitch, or back stitch, sorry. And then the rest is all whip stitch. Some more pins. All right, that is now, I've got one more there. Do I have another pin over here? No, let me just grab one more pin because that's going to move otherwise. Let's get that little piece in there. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is choose a thread. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go with like a dove grey, like a pale grey of some sort. So let me just go and get my threads, and we will pick a thread. All right, I'm reckoning I'm going to go with 168. It's got that sort of greyish, greenish sort of colour to it, because the dove grey, which is 318, is a little bit too dark. So I'm going to go with that lighter one. And I think white would be too stark. Yeah, we're going to go with that one. Now, I don't know if every kit is the same or not for, sorry about the banging, but I'm just getting back in my chair. Yeah, I'm not sure if every kit is the same. Like when you look at that picture of the model on the front and in the back of it, that looks like it's a cream color, whereas this is a gray. And the basket has like, I don't know, it looks like it's tie-dyed or something like that. So yeah, and I can't see anything like that in there. So yeah, it's just going to be what it is. All right, so that is a pretty good color. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll go with that one. Now I have a needle in here somewhere. I'm sure of it. I have put it in. I've probably lost it, which wouldn't surprise me because I do that all the time. No. Yep, I think I've lost it. Thought I would have put it over where I'm going to stitch next, but I did, see? There it is. Alright, I'm going to put this in the hoop. Get rid of this stuff. And bring my hoop up. And as I said, I'm going to start down the bottom here. And grab my little... I just pull that taut, and then basically all I'm going to do is just start whip stitching that. So let's get a piece of my needle. Alright, now hopefully you can see that okay. Looks like you can. So I'm just going to start down at this point here. because it's a tiny, tiny little point. That's going to secure that down. Alright, let me just fix my hoop because I've pushed it down. So basically all I'm doing is just coming up, and I'm coming up beside the felt, and then I'm going down into the felt, and I'm just grabbing a little bit of the tree, not too much, and that's just going to secure it down. And I'm probably doing maybe every 1/4 inch, thereabouts. Okay, so I've got a lot of that stitching down now. I'm going to keep going with that and get all the tree down. And next time we come back, we'll add some leaves and some of the other stuff that we've got in. Sorry about the camera moving, but I just had to move it so you could get a better look. I want to, by the time I come back next month, I want to have the tree all stitched down. I want to have all the little pieces of felt stitched down as well. And then what we'll do is we will start on this section here, and possibly even down here as well, and we're just going to work our way out. I'll endeavour to get some of these houses and everything cut as well and into a little baggie, so we've got them all together, so I know what I need to have for each section, and yeah, and then I'll just have that baggie and we'll be right to go. But for now we're going to work on the tree, and I've got a little bit of embroidery and stuff to do on those leaves and everything, which is fly stitch, and you can see on the end of the branches and whatnot there is some embroidery there as well. Just getting that nice and close for you. Yeah, there's some embroidery there as well. Those round circles, they're all done in hand, so we do them all the embroidery on that before we put it on there, and then we come down and we've got our little flower basket, and there's embroidery in that, and then our little bird cage is embroidered on as well, and then we'll just add all that stuff. So that is what we're going to work on next. So I am going to check out for today, and yeah, and basically keep doing some of this each night and get that done. But for now I need to move on to some cross stitch and also get ready for the live stream on Sunday. All right, so have a great day everybody. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.